I've been raising meat ducks for decades, and I remember keenly choosing the right breed when I started. We finally settled on a Cherry Valley SM3 Super M3 strain for our flocks, because these genetics are bred for fast growth and meat yield. Cherry Valley's SM3 medium ducks, for example, are designed to reach market weight around 42 days with about a 2.0 kg carcass. This matched well with the white Pekin standard. By 6 weeks, those ducks reach roughly 2.5 kiloliter body weight with an efficient feed conversion of about 2.7. In practice, I always source day-old ducklings or hatching eggs from reputable breeders with clean, high-health stock. Cherry Valley notes it's best to work with fully pedigreed, disease-free lines. Getting disease-free chicks is step one of good biosecurity. When the eggs arrive or when I set my own, I treat them gently. In our forced draft incubator, I aim for 37.5 to 37.2 DGs. 99.5 DGF air temperature. I watch humidity carefully. A wet bulb of 30 to 31 degrees C for days, 1 to 25. Then around 32.7, 33.8 DG. 90 to 92 DGF for the final 3 days of hatching. We turn the eggs at least hourly and candle them around day 7 to pull any clear infertile ones. I also spray them lightly with lukewarm sanitized water each day before day 25, then cool them briefly, and at 25 days, I move the eggs to a hatcher. By 28 days, the incubation period for most ducks, they pip and hatch. Handling them with care when breaking out the ducklings helps prevent leg injuries. Always support their bodies rather than grabbing legs. Each night I watch in anticipation. When the first ducklings emerge, I gently unwrap them and place them in reusable brood boxes. I've learned from our first flocks how critical those first hours are. Get them to water immediately after hatching. Cherry Valley research notes that extra gram of weight at day 7 means 8 to 10 gram more at slaughter. So right away we give them supplemental feed and clean water in the brooder. They should find water within 6 hours or so to prevent dehydration. In those first few weeks, my chores are mostly about comfort, warmth, and hygiene. Under the brooder, I provide about 90 to 100 salmon bivaitotomes, about 14-16 into per duckling of open floor space. I keep the temperature high at first, around 29-32 degrees C, 85-90 DGF in week 1, and then back it off by roughly 3 degrees each week, so that by week 4, we're down near 24 degrees C. In practice, that means a 35 degrees C pad directly under the brooder lamp and about 27 degrees C in the background when they arrive, slowly easing it to barn ambient by 4 weeks. I use wire or plastic mesh flooring during brooding, and I furnish bell drinkers or shallow waterers filled only 5 to 7.5 centimeters deep, so the ducklings can dip their bills in without dunking themselves. It's amazing how protective they are of their food and water. They literally won't eat dry feed unless they can wet it. So I make sure feed pans or troughs are always full and never let them out of reach of water. Cleanliness is non-negotiable. Fresh dry litter laid daily, often wood shavings or rice hulls, keeps hatchlings healthy and prevents aspergillosis. I also closely monitor them, weigh samples weekly, and record feed mortalities and culls every day. This early data tells me if temperatures or ventilation are wrong or if illness is creeping in. If any duckling is weak or injured, I cull it rather than let it linger and risk infecting the rest. Cherry Valley taught me that a uniform flock gives the best results, so any duck not thriving is quietly removed. We never send limp or deformed birds to market. The exception is that truly sick ducks are out. Hospital pens just incubate disease. Every morning I walk through, check for leg sores or hock burn, and adjust water island ramps or litter management to prevent those foot problems. As the birds feather up around 3-4 weeks, I move them out of the brooder pen. If we use inside housing, we expand the space to about 0.2, 0.3 M2, 2, 3 SQ/FT per duck. In a semi-intensive system, I give them an outside run, 10 to 15 SQ/FT, each as weather allows. Ducks absolutely love to wade and splash, but I've learned that full swimming is not essential. A shallow wallow is nice for cleaning bills, but I don't keep ponds, just clean bell drinkers or nipple lines, 12 to 15 centimeter deep, 5 to 6 inches by now, so their heads can dip. I was surprised to read that swimming ducks might only be 0.3% heavier by 7 weeks than dry ducks. My feeding program is simple and straightforward. We use a corn-soy mash or pelleted ration with about 18 to 20% protein in starter feed, then a slightly lower level, 16 to 18% as they grow. Ducks prefer wet mash or pellets, so I sometimes mix a bit of water or give greens, lettuce, peas, duckweed to reduce waste. I always let them graze in the yard or pond if possible. Free-ranging ducks can cut feed costs by foraging worms and plants. Crucially, feed always comes with water. I learned the hard way that ducks will only eat grain when they can wash it down. During the first 8 weeks, we leave feed ad libitum. After that, we often switch to twice daily feeding, which keeps them energetic but steady. Throughout growing, I continue record-keeping weekly weighings of a subset and daily feed intake. If FCR feed conversion ever slips above 2.41, I examine management or health. Good record charts help spot trends. A drop in daily gain or spike in culls is flagged immediately and investigated. I also look at uniformity. If a few birds are chasing twice the weight of others, something's wrong. In a well-run flock, birds come out even. Housing, sanitation, and biosecurity. My duck house is never extravagant, but it's practical. It has concrete floors and slatted drinker islands to keep the litter from getting flooded. Concrete or sealed floors allows us to clean and disinfect thoroughly between flocks. Each flock is all in, all out. Once a flock goes to market, I empty the house. I scrub, disinfect, and even fumigate the empty barn at least a week before the next batch. I make sure it's fully dry, then test swabs for pathogens if I can. Cleaning the drinker lines twice, rinse out all disinfectant is vital to avoid harming the new chicks. Ventilation and light are also managed carefully. Ducks hate drafts when young, so I block any wind in the brooder. But as they grow, they need fresh air to keep ammonia down. I use dimmable lights. First week, they get almost 23 hours light to find food, and I reduce by 1-2 hours each week. By keeping lights around 18 to 20 lux and around 18 hours a day, they eat well and rest properly. Biosecurity is a daily mindset. Only essential people enter the pens. Visitors have to wear clean boots and coats. I maintain foot baths at entrances and make them use them. We keep dogs, chickens, and wild birds away. Even a few wild ducks can introduce viruses. I've learned to preclude disease-procuring ducklings only from certified disease-free hatcheries is critical. We also vaccinate as needed. In our region, we routinely vaccinate breeder stock, so the ducklings have maternal antibodies to duck viral hepatitis, duck viral enteritis, duck plague, and duck cholera pastorella. If I ever hear that an outbreak is nearby, I'll booster my flock or vaccinate on site. In addition, we're vigilant against bugs and parasites. Our health plan includes deworming and external parasite checks. Each cycle feeds. Stay clean, bedding turned. If any flock sees illness, we tighten restrictions. No movements, consult the vet, and treat aggressively. Monitoring growth and feed efficiency. Every week, I weigh a sample of ducks and calculate gain. Typical targets are about 1.5 to 2 kilos by 5 weeks and 2.5 to 3 kilos by 6 to 7 weeks for a medium-type duck like SM3. In our experience, a healthy flock of Pekin's broiler ducks hits 2.5 kilos at 6 weeks while eating 5.7 kilos of feed, yielding an FCR around 2.3. If our FCR starts to drift worse, say above 2.5, I check feed quality, ventilation, and health. Good feed conversion is everything. Less feed per kilo means profit. I also watch mortality and cull rates daily. We rarely exceed 0.1% losses per day, but if we do, I investigate immediately. Even small lameness or sickness must be addressed. We do no hospital pens. Sick ducks are culled so they don't become a disease source. All deaths are recorded with cause if known pasture toxin, cold, stress, etc. And we adjust management for the next flock if patterns emerge. By keeping records and comparing to Cherry Valley's benchmarks, e.g. 97-98% livability and 63% carcass yield. I can see at a glance if this flock is on track. By 6 to 7 weeks of age, our ducks are usually ready for market. The exact timing depends on the buyers. Some want young fryer weight at 42 days, around 3.2 kilos live, while others raise ducks past 8 weeks for larger cuts. I aim for uniform plump birds with nice breast meat. Cherry Valley ducks at 41 days have about 17% breast meat. Before processing, I walk through and cull any remaining leggy or undersized birds. Sending only healthy ones ensures the packer can sell a quality product. Typically, we end up with a dressed yield around 60 to 65% of live weight, so a 3.2 kilogram duck becomes about a 2.0 kilogram carcass. Ducks should be fully feathered and dry, not wet or stressed when they go to market. We also prepare by reducing feed the day before catching and checking waterline pressures so everyone drinks well right up to loading. For weighing, I've learned not to weigh on a full stomach or after drinking water to get consistent weights. Ultimately, the birds tell me we've done the job right. Evenness and liveliness in the catching pen are signs that our care paid off. Raising ducks from egg to market is as much art as science. Years of weathering spring chills and summer rains have taught me patience and vigilance. The technical bits, humidity in the hatcher slats on the floor, protein in the feed, all matter. But what makes the hardest earned lesson is this: ducks respond to kindness. Quietly caring for each new duckling, giving them warm nights and fresh feed, and keeping diseases at bay with gentle hygiene and smart vaccination. These habits create a flock that thrives. Each flock I raise reconnects me to the land and the cycle of life. When I see those final birds standing tall and healthy at 6 weeks, I know our long hours paid off. And I remind myself, as my old mentor told me, feed them well, keep them clean, and love what you do. The ducks will reward you. That lesson, rooted in both practice and science, keeps me inspired. In the end, every market-ready duck is a testament to diligence and care, a quietly proud moment of harvest and hope.